You don't want none! You don't want none!
What's going on, Tar Heel Nation? It is your favorite North Carolinian, Russ, the Tar Heel, and in this huddle, baby, we're going to talk about the Heels visiting Littlejohn Coliseum tonight to take on the Clemson Tigers at 7 p.m. on ESPN, bro. Huge opportunity for Carolina, man. But before we get into the details of that, like always, first I got to show some love to the Huddle Hooligans. I appreciate you guys for all that you stinking do, man. The best group of guys on YouTube. And as much as I love my fellow Tar Heels, man, you can also become a member of the inner circle, if you will, by clicking that join button to become a Huddle Hooligan yourself, man. Great way to support the channel and a hell of a Discord that we got going on over here. And of course, live reaction and watch party tonight at 7 p.m., man. So come hang out with your boy as we see if the Heels can shock the stinking world against the Clemson Tigers on the hardwood. Yes, I know that is crazy sounding, but yes, we need to shock the world against the Clemson Tigers on the hardwood, man. So let's jump into this thing by looking at the updated ACC standings. And of course, Puke finally got their first ACC loss, and they are 12-1, still atop the ACC standings. Louisville and Clemson are 11-2. Wake is 10-3. SMU is 9-3. Stanford is 8-5. And Carolina is 7-5. The only game Monday or tonight is Carolina at Clemson. So Carolina would need this one to break even with Stanford, but obviously the Cardinals still have the tiebreaker from that close win over the Heels in Chapel Hill, man. So let's go ahead and put on our seatbelts, buckle up. Here we stinking go. The Heels are fresh off of a 67-66 victory over the Pitt Panthers in Chapel Hill, where Vin Allen Lubin had his best game as a Tar Heel with 17 points, man. RJ finished with 18, and he had some clutch buckets down the stretch. And I'm still not quite sure if Carolina won that game or if Pitt lost it, to be completely honest with you. The Heels had two separate opportunities to ice the game at the charity stripe, and they missed the front end of both. And then Pitt ended up missing a decent look in the paint as time expired. So yeah, Carolina got the W, but there is a slight little asterisk beside it. Now, the Heels are led by head coach Hubert Davis, who's 92-41 in his fourth year at his alma mater, which is good for a .692 winning percentage. Carolina's leading scorer is the 6-foot, 180-pound All-American shooting guard RJ Davis, who's averaging 17.4 points per game, 3.8 assists, and 3.8 boards. He's shooting 40% from the field and 31.7% from beyond the arc. So his shooting averages are starting to tick upwards. They're trending in the right direction. Now, their leading rebounder is the 6'3", 195-pound junior guard Seth Trimble, who's averaging 5.4 rebounds, and he's also contributing 12.3 points per game. And their leading assist man is the 6', 180-pound sophomore point guard Elliot Cadeau, who's averaging 6 assists to 3.2 turnovers. He's also contributing 10.4 points per game with 3.2 rebounds. Now, the Clemson Tigers bounced back from an embarrassing triple overtime defeat at home to Georgia Tech. So just to really make that stick real quick, they lost in triple overtime against Georgia Tech. So it is possible, Tar Heel Nation, to go into Littlejohn this year and get a W, man. But they bounced back from that in a huge way by beating the number 2 ranked Puke Blue Devils in the same arena. Now, Victor Lathan, he dropped 22 for the Tigers, and he just had a huge game because that guy, he only averages 10 points per game, man. So hopefully he does not do that against Carolina. Now, the Tigers are led by head coach Brad Brownell, who is 283 and 194 in his 15th season at Clemson, which is good for a 593 winning percentage. The Tigers' leading scorer is the 6'4", 202-pound senior guard, Chase Hunter, who's averaging 17.5 points per game, 2.5 assists, and 3 rebounds. He's shooting 49% from the floor, and he's also shooting 43.5% from beyond the arc. The leading rebounder is the 6'8", 240-pound senior forward, Ian Shefflin, who's averaging 9.5 rebounds, but he's also contributing 12.8 points per game. And their leading assist man is the 6'1", 218-pound senior point guard, Jaden Zachary, who's averaging 3.1 assists, and he's only committing 1.5 turnovers per game. He's also contributing 10.6 points and 3.1 rebounds. Now, the North Carolina Tar Heels are averaging 80.6 points per game, and they're giving up 76.3 points per game. Compare that to Clemson, who's averaging 77.3 points per game, and they're only giving up 67.3. Carolina's averaging 2 more rebounds, the exact same amount of assists for both teams, 14.3. Carolina is averaging slightly a little bit more blocks, but Clemson is better with the thefts, man. So now that we've taken a look at the individual and team leaders, let's go ahead and get into Russ's 3 keys to a Tar Heel victory. And key number 1, man, is going to start off with this. Carolina has got to be stinking physical, okay? Lakin and Shefflin are tough, physical, big dudes down on the blocks, man. But on the flip side of that, that's just the front court. The back court of Chase Hunter and Jaden Zachary, these are physical guards as well. So Elliot Cadeau and RJ Davis better stinking bring it, man, because they're going to have those guys all in their stinking chest, and they're going to definitely be trying to drive to the rack with the smaller guards on them. Carolina's got to be stinking physical, man. Van Allen, Jay Wash, they better be ready to stinking bang, because those Clemson bigs are legit good college basketball players, and Shefflin is absolutely out of his mind relentless on the glass, dude. So, like I said, I cannot emphasize this enough. If Carolina's going to have an opportunity to win this basketball game, they've got to be physical. They better stinking bring it. Bring the daggone lunch pail, bro. Key number 2, inside out. Look, Carolina's best players are their guards, okay? But we saw firsthand how better the offense looks when a guy like Van Allen Lubin is getting touches down there. He's carving out stinking space, and he's getting decent looks around the rim, bro. And that just opens things up for the guards on the back end. Carolina cannot just throw the ball around the perimeter, okay? They've got to get some interior touches, keep those Clemson bigs honest, and not become one-dimensional. The offense stagnated once we reverted back to those old habits and went to isolation basketball. You have to still operate inside out. And key number 3, man, to be completely honest with you guys, we got to pray for a stinking hangover, all right? The Tigers just knocked off the Dukies in a huge win for the program where the students actually stormed the floor. That is an emotional victory that one would have to question with the quick turnaround. How soon can the Clemson Tigers focus on the heels and not feel too good about themselves as far as knocking off the Dukies, man? So here's the simply, hoping that they overlook Carolina and we catch those guys thinking slipping, bro. And that's just being completely honest. So pray for a Clemson hangover. So with all that information out there in the ether, man, let's get into the prediction portion of the show. The ESPN matchup indicator gives the Tigers a 66.8% chance of beating the Hills Monday night. And to be honest with you, man, I think that that's a little low, okay? Clemson is a really good basketball team, both in the front court and the back court. They're physical, their guards can shoot, their bigs can knock down threes occasionally. Shefflin, once again, is just relentless on the glass, a high motor guy, and I really do think that this is just a bad matchup all around for Carolina. It's not that Carolina can't get the job done, okay? Obviously, I believe that they can get the job done. I just don't think that it's the best matchup for us, our best 5 against their best 5. So I honestly don't, foresee this happening, okay, as far as a Carolina W. If I had to put money on it, I wouldn't put money on the Heels, to be completely honest with you guys, okay? Especially if we don't get a daggum huge game from RJ and Ian. Gonna need big games for both of those guys, man. So I'm gonna say Carolina goes down to Littlejohn, and they lose 74-68. Carolina currently is a 5.5-point underdog, which would kind of, have Clemson covering. The question is just, like I said, with all those variables in there, can Carolina be physical? Can their bigs, run around and get some daggone boards? And can Carolina catch Clemson, hungover from that Duke defeat, man? I need the guys to see this. I'm hoping some of the players see this and they see that Russ is like, sleeping on them. Maybe that'll motivate them, bro. Get them pissed off and they can prove me wrong again like they did last week, man. I want to be wrong. I want to be wrong, guys. And we need me to be wrong because this is a huge quad one opportunity for the Heels that would greatly benefit some postseason aspirations, man. So either way, you already know your boy's going to be rooting for my Heels till the bitter end, dude. I will die on this stinking hill, man. So you let me know what you think about this game down in the comments section, Tar Heel and Tiger Nation. Is your boy onto something? Or am I sitting up there in the nosebleeds having no idea what I'm talking about? Make sure before you get out of here, you like, share, and subscribe to the channel, dude. And we'll see you later tonight for the watch party, baby. Great day to be a Tar Heel. Go Heels.